OFX, what's popping? So I am trying to figure out about the video that I posted yesterday, if it's correct or not. And I don't think it is. I don't think that getting small, consistent wins over a long period of time will compound faster. Part of me still kind of believes it, but I'm not able to prove it yet. But here's what I did. I went through this trading journal and I took down the entire year so far of all the data that I have, and I went week by week and put it in, and this is the 10-1. It ended up at 116, 285. I just ignore this, ignore all this stuff. I put it in, I manually calculated it out and wrote it out, and that's what I got. And then I did the same thing with the 1-to-1 with the stop profit, and this is what I got. It doubled. And if we go to the actual thing, the percentage gain is double. So my theory was that even though you could have a risk reward that maybe makes the same percentage on paper or more on paper, since it fluctuates so much that it wouldn't, like, it's hard for me to try to figure out how to fucking say it. But if you have a 1-to-1 and this is the equity curve and it's all the way back here, right here, let's say this is $110,000. You're going to be basing your risk off of that. Eventually, you're going to have a losing streak, and now we're back at $100,000. Well, now you're basing the risk off of that again. So now it takes longer to get back to that point than it would have for this to just continue. So now it takes longer to get back up there, and then you might have another losing streak and be negative. And now you got to base the risk off of 95,000, and now it's even harder to dig out of this hole. And then eventually, you are going up in the equity curve. But it's just a lot more noise. It's a lot more back and forth versus something like a 10-to-1 where the equity curve is this. You win 30 trades in a row, lose one, wipes out a whole bunch, and then that's the equity curve. And that's what I'm trying to get at, whereas, like, I think that this consistency of compounding an account with very few big losses will be able to grow your account farther and faster than something like this where, hey man, get the fuck out of the way. Where something like this, where it's really back and forth and every single month is different, it's harder to compound that. And I think that over time, what would happen is over 10, 15 years of data, this would consistently provide the same results every single month, right? If we took 30 trades a month, you would get probably, if you're risking 1% with the 10-to-1, you get either 0.8, 1.9, or 3% every single month. You'd either win 28, lose 2, 29-1, or 30-0. And that's what I think. Whereas a 1-to-1, you take 30 trades, it could be anything. It could be 17-13, it could be 11-19, it could be whatever, 20-10. It'd be really back and forth. So it's harder to compound that, especially when you go in a drawdown. It's harder to get out of that and get back to where you were. Where this, it's not really that difficult. That's my whole theory. That's what I was trying to figure out. But what happened was that I went through and did everything, and the 1-to-1 was a little bit more than the 10-to-1. Even I went through and calculated everything, and the 1-to-1 with the stop profit was more. So that theory that I had was wrong. This is the data. This is the 1-to-1 with the stop profit. This is the 10-to-1. That theory is, I guess, wrong. I mean, the consistency of the wins were there with the 10-to-1 and everything. That theory may have been wrong. I don't know. But overall, I do think the thing that would prevail with the negative risk rewards is that they're so consistent. So I brought up this Monte Carlo thing. If we put in like a 10-to-1, right? Like a 90, I think it was this year I was able to maintain like 95%. Let's see, 95% win rate with that. Let's see. Where is it? 96% win rate. Okay, and then we do 0.1. And if we do this, it simulates it out for us. This is what it would look like, right? It would just, see how it just has a little pullback every now and then. It would constantly be on an up curve, constantly be compounding, which is why I think that in the long run, it might be a better option. But if you look at all these months, look at how every single month, for the most part, well, now it doesn't look that great, but for the most part, every month is green, right? So out of this year, you would have had one red month, you would have had 3, you would have had 2. There's usually one year where you literally didn't have a single losing month. You know, what I'm saying is, like, look at this. 0.8, 1.8, and then 2.9. So what I said earlier is 0.8, 1.9, or 3%. So 30 trades a month, you'd be roughly the same percentage every single month. This is what I'm saying. It repeats it on every single thing. 0.8, 0.9, 1.8, 3, 0.8, 0.8, all the same. Every single month is roughly the same percentage that you get back with you have a few losing months. But that's what I'm saying. I think that consistency might be able to overdo something of a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2 or a 1-to-3. And if you wrap it out. Now, here's the problem in this Monte Carlo situation is that the 10-to-1 would consistently be able to be 95 to 96% accurate. A 1-to-1 would fluctuate between 50 to 54, 53.5, roughly around there. So that's where this problem comes in, which is why I manually did it. What the fuck? All right. So, and then this is completely different. So remember how the 10-to-1 was just completely straight up, right? Look at this. This is what I'm saying. So prices fluctuated. It goes all the way up and it comes all the way down. By this point, when this is all the way down, the 10-to-1 would be up here somewhere. This is why I think that it just makes more sense to do something like that. And I don't know how to fucking prove my theory, but I will figure it out. Or I'll prove it wrong, one of the two. But that's my theory, is that the consistent wins over a long period of time might be better. Because it's like this. This is down here. The entire, what is this? How long was this? August of 33. What the fuck does that mean? 2033. All right, so for this entire year, not a year, 6 months or whatever, this entire span of time, the 10-to-1 would be already up here. It would be compounding the entire time. And then by the time when that caught up, it'd be fucking 2 years later. By the time when this thing caught up, a year and a half later. That's what I'm saying, where the entire time. But by the time when this was able to get up to here, the compounding effect would have taken a 10-to-1 all the way up here. That's my theory. And if we go to the months, that's insane to have that many profitable months back to back. No break evens. Okay. But yeah, that's my theory. And then like stuff like this, I mean, look at how many losing months you had that year, where like, also my theory is that you might have like 2 or 3 great months and then the rest are just kind of shit. Which mentally would be tougher to handle, I feel like, than something of like what we just did before. But that's what I'm trying to get at, man. I'm just trying to get at the fact that I think that, and if we were going to do something like a 0.2, my fucking laptop would load. That'd be fantastic. All right. Something like this. And same thing, consistency. Consistently grow. I forgot. You know what? Hold on, brother. I forgot that this Monte Carlo shit does weird stuff. And it puts the win percentage lower than what you actually want, which is bizarre. So this is what it would look like. This 96% win rate that I had this year. So that's why it looks so different. Pretty much every single month is, again, the same. And it's all green. You barely lose ever. But what I'm trying to get at, which I keep saying I'm trying to get at, is the fact that this little portion right here, your account might be at fucking, I don't know, $10,000. And then this portion, when you are starting to go up here, now it might be at $30,000. So then you're going to be able to compound that even more. And then this portion might be at $60,000. And then you're able to compound that even more. Whereas this entire frame right here might stay around $20,000. So now the entire time that you're in this little range, where of course eventually you're going to break out and you're going to keep going up, but this entire range, you're stuck at basing your risk, which is what I do. The risk that I use stays the same, but it's based off of the account size that I have. So when I go on losing streaks and I lose a whole bunch, well, now I'm basing that risk off of that. That's just how I think it should be done. That's how I've always done it. So you're basing that risk off of this $20,000 account the entire time, whereas this is constantly increasing. So over time, the gap between these two is just going to increase so much to where I think it'll be hard for this to catch up. And why does this keep happening? And then that's what it would look like. It would just constantly be that. And if we go back to the 1-to-1, which let's do 55 this time. Because if for some reason it puts it less than what you want, don't know why. 53, it's good, but this down period, this, like this, by the time that it would be able to catch up, I think you'd be double. Like this down period, the 10-1 would still be up here. By the time when it got up to where, like, theoretically on paper we would match right here, I think the 10-1 would be up here because it's compounding so much faster because the wins are so consistent. That's what I'm trying to say. So I don't know how to prove it. I don't know, but that's my theory, and to me it makes a lot of sense that you'd be able to just compound it so much faster over time. Also, on top of that, the fact that the months would be so sporadic, so basically be like starting over a whole bunch of times. Like, let's see, like you have 5%, and then you have 5% in July, and you have 2 months. These 2 months wiped out July, so basically for 3 months you made $0 at all. Whereas every single month with the 10-1, you'd be making money. And I know that I was just like, oh, I'm going back to 1-to-1s. Fuck negative risk reward. But ChatGPT just said it, and it said it in a way that made a lot of sense. And now I'm like, I don't know. So, it's like every single month that you have this, it's like you could see 96%. The win rate that I had this year was 96.2. So it's not even the same. It's right. It's damn near the same. But every single month is good, and every single month is the same, and it's consistent. And it turns day trading into even though the profits are really small, it turns day trading into a consistent income, right? So every single month you come into this, it's like either 0.8, 1.9, or 3%, which is basically all of these. And every single month you know pretty much roughly what you're going to get every month, and you're able to compound it a lot. So yeah, I would like people's opinions in the comments. Let me know what you think. Would this work? Would this make sense? Would it make sense to have an account that you only trade negative risk reward on, even though this doesn't back up that theory? I think this does back up that theory pretty well. So yeah, let me know, man. I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on in my head. I'm trying to put it on paper. I'm trying to say it out loud, and I'm having trouble trying to figure it out. But that's it, man. OFX out.